So Jack, back at SGP for the start of a very important week. Is it nice catching up with everyone again?
Yeah, it is. We've met up. Was it five days before the game? So it's important, because we don't get a lot of time together. So it's a good time to bond and get to know each other a bit more. And as you said, ahead of two big games that we know we've got to win.
What's the routine like for you on a meet-up day when you get up and come up here in a meet-up? Just talk us through your routine.
Well, I've got two kids, so I'm up early, and seeing them before I come, which is nice to get a bit of family time in before, and then you get the same feeling when you're coming up here, you're excited, a little bit nervous as well, because you haven't seen the lads for a while, and you know when you come here, it's a step up in quality, it's the highest level, so you're obviously excited about getting to train with the top players as well.
Is this starting to feel like home now for you and for England?
Yeah, it is. I had a long spell out of the team. Now this is my third consecutive meet-up, so it's nice to get a little run in. Stay injury free hopefully, and there'll be a game in November as well. So hopefully I can stay fit for that as well.
Yeah, you must be full of confidence at the moment. Arsenal top of the league, and then you got your first goal as well at the weekend.
Yeah, the team's playing well, and I've said before, we've got a good squad now. It's tougher places, so you have to perform week in, week out. And I said before as well that I want to score a few more goals. So it was nice to get off the mark yesterday.
What's it like the club rivalry when you join up with England? Is it nice to be top of the tree when you come and meet up?
Yeah, it is. It's only the start of the season, so we don't take much notice of that at the minute. We've just had a good start, and that's it. In 10 or 15 games, that's when you start to really see who's going to be in and about at the end of the season. So we'll keep playing well, hopefully, and working hard to get the points every week.
We're obviously without the Ox and Theo this week, both injured still. How are they progressing, and sort of how much will we miss them?
Yeah, we'll miss them. They bring a lot of pace to the team. A lot of quality. Theo's great in front of goal, and Alex likes to run at players. He's an exciting player, so we're going to miss them a lot. I think Theo's a bit closer to coming back than Alex. Alex has been out for a while, but he's working hard and he's in good shape. So when he gets a chance to run again, he'll be fit.
But these are two very, very important games for England. How is everybody feeling after you've met up with them today?
Yeah, when we first meet up, we don't really talk about the games. We have a little catch up and get to know what we've been up to at the clubs and that. So, as the week goes on and we have team meetings, we'll start to talk about the game and what we expect. But as you said, they're big games. They don't come bigger than this. If we've got a great opportunity to get to a World Cup, and for a young player like me especially, so that'll be a dream come true. And there's a few other young players in the team, and then we've got the experienced players who've been there and done it, so they know what it's all about.
Looking around the camp, yourself included, there's a few players that have been in the goals lately in the Premier League, so that must be a great boost for the confidence of everybody.
Yeah, it is. There's some players in real top form at the minute, and even the so-called older players, the senior players, they keep doing it week in, week out, and then the younger players, Daniel Sturridge is on fire at Liverpool, Danny Welbeck's looking good, so it's a good mix at the minute, and everyone's full of confidence. Hopefully we can take that into the games.
The last get together we picked up 4 points, which was very, very good for us because it kept the future in our own hands. How important were those two games to us?
Yeah, they were big games. The first game we were obviously expected to win, but you still have to go out there and win. You had to get an early goal, and then it opened up. Sometimes in them games, if you don't score early, they can be really difficult games. But we were professional in that game, and we got the win. And then again, in Ukraine is a tough place to go, and we got a few. We got criticised a bit of people, but that was a tough game, and we got a point. We knew what we had to do. We went over there, we defended well, and we had a few chances as well. So we can take confidence from them games.
And of course, they're both at Wembley, these two. So what better place to be playing for two victories, hopefully.
Yeah, I've said it before. There's no better feeling than running out in an England shirt at Wembley. That's what dreams are made of. So when you get out there, you have to work hard and show everyone what you can do. You've worked hard to be there, so when you get there, you have to take your chance. And there's no better opportunity than these two games coming up.
And in the recent games you've played alongside Gerrard and Lampard in there, how important are they for England?
And they're still a key part of the team and the squad as well. But I grew up watching them two play in midfield, so to play in there alongside them was was nice, you know, and you can just learn off the likes of Lamps and Gerrard. You know, they're top players, and they keep doing it week in, week out.
What sort of things can you learn from them? Is it just on the pitch, or is it everything?
Oh, it's off the pitch, you know, as well. I mean, Gerrard's probably, well, he's definitely one of the best captains I've played under. You know, he's calm. You know, he's been there before. He talks to you and he helps you out. And then Lampard's like a captain as well. You know, he's the same. And he keeps doing it on the pitch as well. You know, scoring goals. And if you just you have to look at his record. You know, I said before that I want to be scoring more goals. And if you watch him, you know, he gets in the right positions. He's calm in front of goals. So there's different things you can learn from both of them, but still vital things you need to know.
And coming in from the other side, the young boys, you've got people like Ross Barkley and Andros Townsend who are really showing themselves to be good players, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. You know, they've sort of just jumped into the Premier League. You know, they've been thrown in and they've been doing it. You know, every game. I watched Everton a few times this season, and for me, Ross has been their best player. You know, he's making things happen, and he's only 19. And then Andros, you know, I've known Andros for a few years. I played with him at under 16 level, under 17, and he's always had that ability, you know, to run at players, and he's now taking that into the Premier League, which is nice to see.
Of course, you're still only 21. What sort of things are you trying to work on in your own game?
Well, you know, at the minute I'm playing out of position on the left, so I'm learning a new position, which is nice. You know, I mean, as I said before, I'm playing in a strong team where it's tougher positions. You know, so I'm happy to play my part on the left. So I'm learning that at the moment. You know, I want to work on my right foot. And as I said, you know, I want to score a few more goals. So hopefully now I've got one, then a few more will start to come.